Howdy folks, Kerbo here, welcome back to the Abandoned Forest. We've got some work done between episodes here, so I'm going to throw the drone up in the air and take a quick little look around, and then we're going to get to work on Field 3. We need to get some solid fertilizer down, and then we're ready to cultivate and plant. So here we go, I'll see you on the other side. Alright, we're back over here at the main farm, and I've picked up the fertilizer spreader. We're going to take it, I've got it hooked onto the back of the power harrow here, even though that's not how we're going to run it. It's just to get it over to the field. And I've got the dualies off, the wheel weights back on. I'm hoping that'll be enough for Field 3. I did have to use the dualies on Field 2. There's a really steep part of that on the upper corner, and it was pretty brutal. But I think with Field 3 we'll be fine with the wheel weights, and the tractor's a little easier to drive around without the dualies on it. So let's head on out to the field. This is quite a lot of weight on the back of this tractor. Even with the front weight, we're a little light in the front end. So as you can see, it's early summer. The corn in fields 1 and 2, I think maybe has sprouted. Or no, it hasn't quite sprouted yet. But it is planted and growing. We just need to get Field 3 done. And then once Fields 1 and 2 do sprout, we need to get some more fertilizer down on them. Come on, tractor. This thing is not too happy with all this weight on the back. Then we can also, I think, get some mowing and some haying done. I do still need to get the baler over. I think I've got the mower and the windrower and the tedder over here. I need to double check. But the baler is still sitting over by the store. I know I wasn't going to buy a whole lot of equipment, but they had the cutest little tractor over there for sale, used, a little Universal 445. Just about 45 horsepower. Just so darn cute, I had to have it. So that's over here. We'll probably use that for some of the smaller jobs, like tedding, windrowing. We'll see what we can do. It's mostly just for fun, though. It definitely would not handle this fertilizer when it's full. It's about all this John Deere can do to handle it. So I'm going to cut across here. It's a lot shorter. It's not the safest in the world. I did get permission to use this short section of a former railroad that's between the concretes here. And I've got some paths through the forest that I've cleared of trees. They're marked by posts. And we're going to try to steer. We're a little heavy in the back. We're going to try to ease our way down here. I got to get past this tree. Oh boy. This is why you don't do stuff like this. There we go. And we're gonna drive across this rock here. It's fairly stable. You can see from the tracks in the grass I've done this before. Not the safest, but it sure saves some time. There we go. Then we're headed right over to field 3. Good to go. So I've already got the planter over here. The planter will go on the back of this power harrow once we're good to go there. And I think I'm going to do this in the right order. I want to put some pellet down. And then we'll cultivate that in. Or do I want to do that? Because this planter also has fertilizer. But that won't take effect until the next growth stage. So maybe I just want to plant. Or will it take effect? We might have to do some experimenting. I'm not 100% sure how that works. We'll do a little trial run here. Let's hoping that wouldn't tip over. Get this contraption here hooked together. I'm going to throw down a little fertilizer, and then we'll cultivate and everything on top of it and see what happens. We'll just do a little test strip. This equipment's kind of all new. I believe that is already full of... Yeah, it's full of seed fertilizer, so we're good to go there. That lowered? Yeah, that was already lowered. There we go. That's what I want to do. Alright, then let's get this guy hooked. Or unhooked. The ever-present freight train is headed by. A lot of freight traffic up here in the mountains. Alright, so we're going to raise you up. And let's just go do a little test strip down here. Throw some pellet down, and then we'll cultivate and seed fertilize on top of it and see what we get. Oh, what happened? Didn't turn on. Why did you not turn on? Uh-oh. What did I do wrong? Alright, give me a minute to sort this out. I'll be right back. Alright, just turns out I'm a big old dummy, and I forgot to attach the PTO shaft. We're good. We're all good. Throw some pellet down. There we go. That'll be good enough for a test. So stick this right back over here. And if we take a look at this, still me fertilization. Nope. Or wait, is that the leaf? Yeah, that's the leaf. Alright, so it's first stage fertilization. This big contraption on the back, and we'll see what we can do. Hook the PTO up. Always a good idea. Alright, so we got corn selected. I think this 6R is a big tractor until you put something like this on the back of it. And let's see, we don't need to fold that out, but we do need to fold this out. There we go. And we're going to start about here, but let's see. We got to get everything turned on. So if I turn on, if I lower all this, if I turn this on, does that turn on this? No, I got to turn that on separate. All right. Fair enough. Come on, tractor. Find your gear. Oh, wow. We may not be able to do this. I don't think I have enough tractor. Maybe I should have left the dualies on. Wow. That's a surprise. I completely misjudged the horsepower and traction requirements, apparently. So we are barely moving. That'll be enough to tell me what I need to know, though. Raise that up. Yeah, that old plowed ground, that's tough. Well, I may have to make an emergency tractor purchase. I thought this tractor was going to be enough. Let me get off the field. Let's check the fertilization state there. I'm stuck in the tractor. Alright, so we got this here. This should be 33%. And it is. What do we got over here? We got corn, no growth, and oh, it does do the extra fertilization state. Alright. Well, that's good to know. So that will work, actually. We put pellet down, and then do that on top of it with the fertilizer. I think that counts because this is putting the fertilizer right down with the seed. My theory, anyway. Alright, well, let's get this thing over here. Well, we can at least put pellet down with this tractor. Then we're going to have to come up with a plan B, because, wow, that's just not going anywhere with all that stuff on the back. Alright, let's fling some pellet. Oop, missing a little bit. This thing throws pretty far, but not quite that far. No trouble coming up through the plowed ground with just the spreader on the back. That's good. I don't know, even with the dualies, I don't know if we're going to have enough power to pull all that. I have apparently miscalculated. But we'll get this pellet down and we'll figure out the planning situation. This farm has been a learning process for sure. The challenging terrain and really puts a different twist on the farming. As you saw, just getting to the farm can be a challenge. getting stuff off the farm, like logs. Another big challenge. I'm hoping with my new log trailer setup that'll be easier the next trip. Do have some logs to load onto the trailer. We don't have quite a full load yet. But someday when I get time, I'll get what we have loaded up. And there's some areas I wouldn't mind clearing some more trees. So we will eventually have another load of logs. Come on, Green. Let's get with it. I thought for sure this, I think it's around 250 horsepower. I thought for sure that was going to be enough tractor for everything we need to do, but when you're wrong, you're wrong. Alright, let's play how far away can we get? And I'm starting to push it. We're not going to have perfect coverage, but it'll be close. Might use GPS next time, and then we can clean up the rough edges. Kind of an odd shaped field anyway. Alright, just about got it. I think I'll plant the corn with GPS, get pretty straight. Have 2 or 3 headlands around the edge so we can get a harvester in here. Or a combine, as we call them around these parts. Don't know how universal that term is. Not the most beautiful coverage in the world, but some of this on the way back. Oh, I didn't have that raised up. I wonder if it's spraying weird. Oh well, if I didn't make any mistakes, you guys might get suspicious. So we'll drop this here for now. And I'm going to do some looking and some figuring to see what we need to do about the tractor situation. And we'll bring you back in a bit. Well, here we are. Another half day wasted. But I bought a new tractor. The old 6R just wasn't going to cut it. So, caught a ride back into town. And I spent a lot of money. But we've got an 8345 now. We've got the old 8R here, 345 horsepower. And did a quick little test run this morning after I got everything hooked up, and she does pull it. So, yep. Cost me a lot of money, but now we can actually get some corn in the ground. So that's what we're going to do. Get all the lights on. And let's see, let me get the GPS set up. Locked on, and it's raining. So I'm going to try to get some planting done. And then hopefully it'll dry out later this afternoon and we can start getting some mowing done. That is the plan anyway. So we're going to turn on the power harrow. Turn on the seeder. And away we go. I said away we go, 8R. Oh man, it's too wet. It's too wet to plant. I just can't win. No matter what I do. This farm's gonna break me. Yeah, she's just too wet. Look at that. Buried. Well, I tore the crap out of the field. Alright, so we're going to take another break. And we're going to let the ground dry out. And by golly, we're going to get some corn into field 3. I swear. It's going to happen. Back in a bit. Ah! You thought I was going to come back in here and not be able to plant corn, didn't you? Well, we're finally planting corn. Had to wait nearly half a day or the middle of the afternoon for the ground to get dried out. But we are planting corn. And somewhat straight. Struggling a little bit on this hill. But I'm relying on the GPS to keep me somewhat straight. It's like I could have planned out the GPS course a little better, but that's alright. Need separate buttons for everything here. So, anyway, it's going to happen, folks. We're getting corn put in the ground. So, that's what I'm going to do the rest of the day. Probably late into the night. And we'll get that done. And next episode, I'm hoping to get some grass turned into hay. But you never know on the farm what's in store. We shall see. But thanks for hanging out through all my trials and tribulations of trying to plant Field 3. And appreciate you watching. And I will catch you next time.